Pretty excited about my activity for today. I'm planning to engrave pictures on these 3 guitar picks and these 3 cabochons. These are not domed like my cabs usually are. They're flat on both sides. I started these in the cab machine and then threw them in the tumbler to polish them up really nicely. And I did put a groove around the edge here, so hopefully these will turn out and then I can wire wrap them really easily because I got the groove in there. So this is the Algo Laser Delta that the Algo Laser Company gave to me to do a review of. And when I did the review in the fall, I was interested in doing rocks, and I had a little bit of trouble. My success story, I'll tell you what the toothpaste is for in a minute, but my success was on rocks like these. I did a deer here, this was in my thumbnail. These turned out really nicely. But when I tried Montana agate, I had a different experience, and it seems like every different kind of rock takes different settings. So I think I've got this figured out now. I've been playing around with it, and I got to thank Kate and Jim from the Katie Did Rocks YouTube channel, because they figured out that doing 2 passes works better than 1. So that's a takeaway I've got from them. And then somebody by the name of Peter gave me a tip about toothpaste, which was surprising to me. Alright, so let me show you something on the computer here real quick, and then we'll get to engraving. I promise not to bore you too long with the computer stuff, but I wanted to show you something before we get started. One of the challenges here is knowing exactly where it's going to engrave. And with something as small as this cabochon, I want to make sure that I get my pictures centered properly, or else it's going to look a little bit funny. So you can see I've drawn an oval, the same as my cabochon, and inside this is the flower I'm going to engrave on it. So they're color coded. We got a pink flower, and over here to the right you can see the pink layer is set at 1 speed and power, and then the oval is a purple layer, and it's at a different speed and power. So what this is going to do is engrave just on the cardboard so I know where to put my cabochon. So I want to turn the output to the flower off, so it'll only do the oval right now. So when I hit start, it will engrave an oval on the cardboard. So let me get my glasses on here. Gotta wear safety glasses when you do this to protect your eyes from the lasers. Get the laser turned on. Alright, so back at the computer, if I hit the frame button, actually the first time you do it, it kind of has to get started again, but hit the frame button and it should go over and show me where it's going to draw the oval. And that's the accuracy I get there. So that's good enough for me. It's on the cardboard. So if I hit start, it engraves an oval there, and now I know where to put my cabochon. But before I put the cabochon down, I have to do a funny little thing here, and that's I'm going to cover it in toothpaste. So I have just regular old toothpaste. This happens to be Colgate Total, and I'm going to coat the rock in toothpaste because the laser needs something to focus on. If it's just a clear Montana agate, it's just going to go right through it. So I'm going to smear toothpaste all over this thing, and I try to get it even. I don't know if that matters that much, but I'm going to do my best to get a kind of even coat on it, like that. And that'll give it something to focus on. In the past I used masking tape, but it seems to burn around the edges a little bit and leave little black edges. And it also is just a pain in the butt to take off at the end. This washes off really easy. It's toothpaste. So I got to thank Peter for leaving this in a comment for me in one of my other videos about the laser, because this is something I would have never thought of doing, and he suggested it. It sounded like he knew what he was talking about, so I thought I'd give it a try. Alright, and I already focused that for the rock earlier. It was focused enough to do the cardboard okay, but it's mainly focused for the rock. You do have to adjust the height of this so it's focused on whatever thickness material you're engraving. Alright, so back to the computer. I'm going to turn off the output for the oval and turn on the output for the flower. And my settings here for the flower are 500 millimeters per minute at 90% power. I've got an interval of 0.1 millimeters, and it's going to make 2 passes. And that's what I learned from Kate and Jim. Two passes seems to work better than one. So I think we're ready to go. I've got my safety glasses on. Everything looks good, so I'm going to hit the start button. One thing I really like about engraving rocks is that I can do it in the basement because there's no smoke or any kind of odor that comes off these when you engrave them. On the other hand, if you're doing plywood like I did for my new sign in my shop, I had to do that out in the garage because there's quite a bit of smoke. Someday I hope to get an enclosure for this so that I can vent it out the window, and then I can do plywood down here in the winter also. There it is. Toothpaste and all, but the centering looks good, so I'll go get that washed off and see what it looks like. Well, if they all turn out this good, I'm going to be a very happy camper. What's weird is that white part is raised up. It's not sunk down deeper than the rest of the rock. It's actually like, I don't know, it's almost like the rock becomes molten and then kind of gets puffed up. Did the same thing in the black rocks. So really, really interesting how this works. And I don't exactly understand how it works. I just like the results. So I'm going to do the other ones, and I'll keep showing you as I get them done. Well, let's see how this one turns out. I find a surprisingly good tool for cleaning toothpaste off. I'd say we've got another success. The last pendant's underway, and then it's on to guitar picks. There's the latest one. I really like that one a lot. That looks pretty good, and it gives it a nice grip too, so your finger's not slipping around on it so much. These are really smooth, so they're kind of slippery. I got two more to do. These next two I'm making for my neighbor who plays guitar, so hopefully he's going to play a little something for you. And he likes birds, so I'm doing a bird theme on the next two. Uh-oh. I think I have my first casualty. I think this one couldn't handle the heat. It looks like it's cracked right there. Pick it up and see. Yep. That one didn't survive. Well, I'll try another one. Well, that one didn't break, so let me go wash it off and see what it looks like. Hopefully it'll look like a little cardinal. Well, this one turned out much better. Even the little feet turned out nice. Kind of impressed with the detail there. So I'm going to run this across the road to Ethan and see if he'll demonstrate how it works for us.
Hey, what's up? My name's Ethan. I got my Les Paul through a little practice amp and one of Rob Abrams' guitar picks. Right here you can see there's a little cardinal etched in there, which is fitting because I like the way that I like the little high-end chirp that's added to a note when you attack it with the pick, like you know. All right. After the chirp, there's like a real kind of smooth, mellow tone, especially if you switch to the neck pickup. And I like to play with my pick and my fingers, and so I like the contrast in tones that you get between my fingers and this pick. There's the birds. But yeah, Rob makes cool picks, and I have a couple of them, and I don't use them for everything, but when I want that kind of chirp added to the front of the note, it's perfect. Good stuff. Thanks, Rob.
The last thing I need to do to finish these pendants up is wrap them in silver wire. People are always asking me how I make the groove around my cabs. So I'm going to link a video at the end here showing, it was actually a trip we took to Colorado to drive over a mountain in the Jeep. And as part of that trip we got some cool rocks, and so I interspersed the Jeep ride with making cabochons out of the rock. And I think I showed how to make the groove wrap a little bit better in that video than in some other videos. The other thing you should see is my review of this laser engraver. It does a lot more stuff than what I showed you here, and I think you'd really enjoy the video. So go pick one of those videos and check it out.